What a danyo, what a dang, and God danyo, oh, what a dang. This is the Black Pot. AKA Kukushudamo, where we speak truth to power. And I want to say thank you so much for coming along. This is the voice of the people, and the voice of the people is the voice of God. Remember, here we do not criticize, but if we must criticize, it must be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. Now, the very first story we want to look at today, my brother, my sister, is this thing that I need us all to open our ears and listen to with rapt attention. My brother, my sister, without much ado, our nation is inundated with charlatans and very wicked people. My brother, my sister, I want us all to open our ears and listen with rapt attention. And I need you to open your ears as well. Now, this one is taken from 3news.com, the most authentic source of news online. It says, and I read, police say 12-year-old girl married to 63-year-old chief priest and her mother are currently under protection. I read. Now, the Ghana Police Service has said they have identified and located the 12-year-old girl who is alleged to have been married to the 63-year-old Bobu Wolomo in Nungua, Accra. Now, the police say the girl and her mother are currently under police protection. Now, the said police is now in charge of taking care of the mother and the daughter. That is what they are saying. Now, the Ghana Police Service is working with the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection and the Department of Social Welfare to provide her with the necessary support while the matter is being investigated. A statement issued by the police said, my brother, my sister, I have been following this issue with very keen interest. A 63-year-old man decided to get married to a 12-year-old girl. My brother, my sister, and his reason is that it is customary. In other words, it is cultural, and it is accepted by the ancestors. This is a traditional priest, and he says he has done nothing wrong by marrying a 12-year-old. After all, they are not going to consummate the marriage until the girl has matured enough to receive consummation. In other words, my brother, my sister, there's no sexual intercourse until she's of age. So what is the importance of getting married to a 12-year-old when you know that you are not going to be able to consummate the marriage now? It is simple. They say is to ward off men from coming after the 12-year-old as she is going about her duties as a teenager. She's not even a teenager yet. My brother, my sister, now the Nungua Traditional Assembly or Council, my brother, my sister, also came out and said a lot of things. Number one, they claim those who are fighting this marriage are ignorant. Again, they claim that anybody who wants to fight this marriage must first and foremost go to the Bible and look at the relationship between Joseph and Mary. How old was Mary when she was betrothed to Joseph? And if they find the answer, they can now come back so they can sit down and discuss. Now, if they are finished doing that with the Christian people, they must also go into Islam and ask the Muslims if there is anything wrong with marrying a 12-year-old. After all, the Prophet of Islam was said to have married Aisha at the age of 9. Some people say 11. Some Muslim clerics have come to the defense of the issue by saying that at the time, girls matured so fast. By the age of 9, all the way to 11, the girl was already like a 20-year-old today. Many people have contested that. Now, another school of thought coming from the Islamic clerics is that when the Prophet of Islam, Prophet Muhammad, married Aisha at the age of about 9, there was no consummation. In other words, there was no sexual intercourse until she was of age. Now, let's come back into our tradition. We have so many different types of marriages in our traditional setting. When you go to the Dagombes, they have a way they marry. When you go to the Frafras, they have a way they marry. Even the Akans have a way they marry. And one of the ways they can betroth a woman to a man is Esiwa Awariye. Esiwa Awariye. What is Esiwa Awariye? I went to school in Kumasi, my brother, my sister, all the way from Form 1 to university. My brother, my sister, I was in Kumasi. I studied some tree. My brother, my sister, and I studied marriages amongst their Akans. Amongst their Akans, a family can decide to give a little girl, betroth the little girl to a man. Now it's going to be recognized that this is going to be the wife, or better still, this is the wife of the little girl. But the final day of the marriage will decide the consummation and whether the woman goes to live with the man or not. But while she's growing up, this man is taking care of her, paying for her school and every other thing. Sometimes she could even go and cook for the man. But traditionally, they were supposed to wait until the marriage was officially done and sealed. So in other words, it was just the beginning, the preliminary stage of the marriage. Today, my brother, my sister, Wulomo, 63-year-old Wulomo, decides that he wants to go the ancestral way. Now the father and mother of a 12-year-old have decided that yes, Wulomo is a good man. And in a traditional setting, they decide to wear all white to celebrate this pedophilic marriage. My brother, my sister, it is so shameful that a 63-year-old man will come out publicly and marry a 12-year-old, show her face to the whole community that she's married to an old 63-year-old priest called Wulomo. My brother, my sister, we will be nothing but robots if we continue to do the same things our ancestors do without adding anything or removing anything. Our ancestors made mistakes. Listen, in the days of Prophet Muhammad, when he married so many women, my brother, my sister, more than 4, Muslims will tell you that at the time, the law had not come that a Muslim could marry only up to about 4 if he wished, and he had the capacity to do that. The Prophet of Islam had more than 4 wives. But it was after all these things that the law came that a Muslim man could not have more than 4 wives. Even in the days of the prophets, there were laws. And some of the things that the Prophet of Islam himself did are not supposed to be done today. And an example is one of the things that I have just told you. If we look at the deeds of our ancestors and we swallow everything hook, line, and sinker, my brother, my sister will be making a terrible mistake. Now, Wulomo, who wants to go back into the past and marry a certain 12-year-old, my brother, my sister, it's a shame to tradition and it's a shame to culture. My brother, my sister, now this 12-year-old is going to be thrown into the world of ridicule. If she is going to school, all other children like her are going to avoid her because she is now the Wulomo's wife. Teachers in the school are going to be scared to even address her by her first name. They are going to start calling her some names that a lot of you cannot even pronounce. Thirdly, my brother, my sister, why do you want to let this little girl go through all this ridicule? At the end of the day, when she comes of age and she says, I don't want this old man with no teeth in his mouth, what are you going to say? Is that not slavery? She is the one who is supposed to live with a man till death do them pass. part, my brother, my sister. Why should she not be given the opportunity to choose the man she wants to live with for life? But her parents, who come from a different generation and a different world, are those who are choosing a husband for the little 12-year-old. I'm glad that the police came in to give some kind of protection for the little 12-year-old. But the harm has been done already. This little girl is going to go through ridicule. She's going to go through a lot. If she continues to be in the area, people will ridicule her. They will call her the old man's wife. This is the time she should be going around to look for ice cream to eat. This is the time she should be going around to play and pay. This is the time this little 12-year-old is supposed to be told Anansi stories too. Pimpina, nana, pimpina, nana, tia, 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 bongo, 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 hey, mami, hey, boom, boom, fire. This is the time they are supposed to be singing these songs to her. This is the time they are supposed to be telling her about Otikono, Okonori, and Anansi. This is not the time to be showing her how a man's male organ looks like and how his balls look like bumbamba balls. It's a ridicule to culture. It's a ridicule to our people. Wulomo, you might be a traditional man, but you have outstepped your boundaries. Ministry of Gender is already speaking. I see Nana Oye Lita. She's no more called Lita. I hear she's Nana Oye. Nana Oye is also talking about it. My brother, you are busily fighting gays and lesbians. What is the bill in Parliament saying about these? Oh, we already have laws that are dealing with pedophilic marriages. I leave it here. Now another thing I want to quickly look at, and I need you to come here. We have to stop getting married to little children. It's an insult to the times. Let the little children go to the ice cream parlor. Let them enjoy their cartoons. Let them enjoy their childhood. Please do not force them into adulthood. This is a joke. Now the next thing I want to look at is taken from Ghana Web. And it says, Kwesi Nyantakyi details how Anas allegedly paid back $100,000 bribe he offered him for number 12 documentary. And I read it. Now, former president of the Ghana Football Association, Kwesi Nyantakyi, has alleged that he paid 100,000 American dollars to ace investigative journalist Anas Armiyaw Anas for him not to air his part in the number 12 documentary. Nyantakyi, in an Bawumia FM interview, detailed the conversation and transactions that ensued prior to the airing of the documentary. Now, he mentioned some prominent figures who had knowledge of the situation and were involved in the arrangements that led him to make an alleged payment of 100,000 American dollars to Anas Armiyaw Anas. He said that he got a refund after he was featured in the documentary, which was aired in 2018. Now, before the video was released, a former colleague of the GFA ESCO, Adam Munkaila, took me to Anas's lawyer. I met him at his residence around West Land, and he told me Anas was a student and had informed him he needed 150,000 American dollars to kill the story. I gave him 100,000 American dollars, but they told me the amount was inadequate and later went ahead to release the video, he said in an interview with Captain Smart on Bawumia TV Tuesday morning. Now, after the video came out, I asked for a refund, and even the refund was done in installments. Today, they will bring $20,000, and the next day, $10,000. They were giving me stories, but eventually, I got everything back, he said. In the same interview, Kwesi Nyantakyi, who is seeking to replace John Kuma as the MP for the Ejusu constituency, apologized to President Akufo-Addo for mentioning his name in the documentary. If I were Kwesi Nyantakyi, I will stop all these shameful utterances. We all saw you in that video. We all saw how greed sparkled in your two eyes. How greed run in your veins like blood in your DNA. We all saw how your eyes glittered and sparkled with greed when money was thrown on the table. We all heard you loud and clear when you said you had the president in your pocket. Were you forced? Was there a gun to your head? Stop this shameful talk. I don't know who advises Kwesi Nyantakyi. When Ghanaians are trying to forget this unfortunate debacle, Kwesi Nyantakyi childishly still goes round talking about this dangerous and terrible, shameful thing that happened in the history of our nation and our football. Even your own wife, one of your wives said, when she's heard you making all those utterances on tape, she knew there was something wrong. This is not the husband that I know. No. Look, we all make mistakes. Maybe tomorrow, Black Rasta will be caught on tape doing the unusual, and it will bring a lot of disgrace to my name. Now, it takes a strong man to come out and say, yes, I was the one in the tape. Yes, I am human. Yes, I've left so many people down. Yes, I have broken my own promise. But please find some little portion of your heart that beats with mercy and forgive me. But to go around, my brother, on a media spree. You never did this media spree when you were in power. Now you are busily going from media house to media house, trying to exorcise the dangerous greed that inundated your very fabric. I'm so ashamed. Anas Armiyahu Anas may not be an angel. Yes, he could have demanded 150,000 American dollars from you, but the story still remains the same. You should be going to jail for giving a bribe. You gave a bribe of 100,000 Ghana cedis to block a certain story. You are not serious, Kwesi Nyantakyi. Now the Ejusu people that you want to go and contest and rule over, they should be thinking about a bribe giver coming to do this thing in their constituency. What a shame. I hear he's a lawyer, or a lawyer in the making. I don't know too much about his whatever. But my brother, he has agreed that he gave a bribe of 100,000 American dollars. Multiply that by 13, and it tells you how much it is in Ghanaian money. A lawyer. My producer says he's a lawyer. You go around saying you gave a bribe because the ghost of Anas is still haunting you. You never foresaw that this will happen. Nyantakyi, you are shameless, this guy. I am hurt. I have been your fan. I will continue to be your fan for personal reasons. But this is shameless talking. In the tape, we heard you talk about money laundering. How you be able to smuggle money into the country using your numerous small-scale banks. My brother, my sister. Savings and loans all over the place. Did you apologize to us? And look at this guy. He is saying that he's apologizing to the president. Who is the president? An arrogant joker? My God have mercy. You should be apologizing to the good people of Ghana, not an arrogant, oversized suit wearing traitor dent. This man is not a president, he's a traitor dent. You see it good enough to apologize to him because you mention his name, but you don't see it good enough to apologize to Ghanaians for letting us down the cheap lane of treachery and greed. I see Paul Adumochiri running his mouth all over the place, insulting Anas. Listen, Anas may not be an angel. The day of Anas will come, because a day of reckoning will come for everybody. If Anas is that bad, his day of reckoning will come. I believe in that. We all are not angels, but as much as possible, when we are caught as the demons, let us own up to that and let us apologize to the right quarters. It's the same thing that arrogant woman did. What's her name? Sarah Ajua Safo. Look how she treated Ghanaians. And she only thought that the only person who deserved an apology was the president of Ghana and her party, and not to the good people of this nation who put her in there to serve, but rather she lorded it over us. What charlatans in power. I am so hurt by these dangerous, demonic, irresponsible charlatans. My God have mercy. Listen to what Kwesi Nyantakyi is saying. Now to the people of Ajiso, here comes the bribe giver. 100,000 American dollar bribe giver to kill a story. And he's buoyantly going out there and telling people, I gave him 100,000 American dollars and as a bribe. And even when they went ahead to publish the story, I even still asked them to pay back the money, and they're paying it in installment. My God. Bribe money that is refunded? I have never heard of that. My God have mercy. Jesus have mercy. When you gave the bribe, did you take a receipt? The people who gave you back the bribe money, they are angels. If at all it happened. Bribe money that is given without any receipt is not recoverable. Hallelujah. Please, Nyantakyi, I am still a big fan of you. Because of your achievements, you fail. It doesn't matter how many times you fall. It matters how many times you are able to rise from each fall. Don't go around trying to paint yourself as a victim. You are not a victim. You were a cheap, greedy guy. I leave it here. Now the next story I would like to look at, and I need you to come along. This is where I'm going to close. It says, stop Bawumia from considering Napo as running mate. And this is Wale Youth Warriors of NPP appealing to Nayiri. My God. Ha! This is the oldest seat of tradition in the history of Ghana, Nayiri. Oldest. I said the oldest seat of tradition is the Nayiri. Over 150 years old and beyond. My brother, my sister, the Wale youth have gone all the way to Nayiri. All the way in Wale and Gambaga. Some people say Gambaga. Correct pronunciation, Gambaga. Wale, correct pronunciation, Wawale. My God have mercy. Let's read. Come along, my youth. Watch this. Now, a pro-NPP group, Wale Youth Warriors, has made a passionate appeal to the overlord of the Mamprugu Paramountcy to prevail upon the vice president and presidential candidate of the party, Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, not to consider the energy minister and MP for Manchia South, Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, for the running mate shot. Now, the group argues that the character, demeanor, and personality of the energy minister is at variance with the values espoused by the leadership of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and the ruling New Patriotic Party. Now, according to the pressure group, any attempt to select Dr. Napo would pose serious dangers to the chances of the NPP breaking the 8 and Dr. Bawumia making history by being the first Northern president under the great elephant family. The call by the group comes at the heels of a recent outburst by the energy minister during an interview with journalists in Kumasi at the sidelines of the Ashanti Regional NPP campaign launch held over the weekend at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Hear this, my youth. As for Napo, He's one of the guys more arrogant than Satan himself. In fact, if you put Satan on my left and put Napo on my right, I will run with alacrity, with top geometric speed, my brother, my sister, and acceleration to hug Satan over and over, and leaving Napo aside. He insulted Kwame Nkrumah over and over. People who have no respect for our ancestors, have no respect for our wonderful ancestors who paid their dues optimum. They should never deserve any respect from us. Do you all remember when Napo said that the NDC, led by Mahama, carried people in buses, carried them all the way to the Liberation Square, where there was an ongoing student enlistment, whatever it was, being put into the various schools to come there and collapse and give the ruling party a bad name. Such a joke comedy from a kindergarten boy, Napo. My God. Remember when he said that Nana Akufo-Addo has achieved more when it comes to the field of education, more than the great Kwame Nkrumah, who built a whole school out of his own pocket, my brother, my sister, somewhere in 1949. My brother, whilst Nana Akufo-Addo is busily running all over the place, begging IMF and the World Bank and making speeches that are virtues and practicing vices, Kwame Nkrumah was busy in his days raising money from within the very fabric of this nation. He never took us to the World Bank and the IMF. Today, my brother, my sister, Nana Akufo-Addo has done better than Kwame Nkrumah in the field of education. When Kwame Nkrumah took people outside this nation, so many of them, at a time, Ghana was a teething nation, educated them, all of them returned to Ghana to contribute their quota. Today, Ghanaians are running out of this nation in their optimum droves. Should I say it again? Running out of this nation unprecedentedly, my brother, my sister, all because of the harsh economic reality unleashed upon us by demons in power. Hallelujah. My brother, my sister, Napo, I don't support Napo. He is so arrogant. He is a man who thinks he's better than every human being on earth and beyond. If you give him the opportunity, he will tell you he's better than God. These are guys who should never near power. When they want the power, they behave like Nana Akufo-Addo, very humble, drinking calipo and sitting in trotro. The moment they get the power, they become demons. They insult our chiefs, insult us, and we even see them in our dreams as Kakamotobi, running and chasing us even in our dreams. They are not satisfied chasing us physically, spiritually in our dreams. I see Nana Akufo-Addo with teeth like those of a dragon, dripping with blood, chasing me in my dreams. All I need to say is Jesus, and he melts and goes back to hell. Hallelujah. I don't care who becomes the running mate of Mahmoud Bawumia. The only difference between Mahmoud Bawumia and Napo is that, despite everything, Bawumia is not arrogant. I do not see him to be as arrogant as this guy. Bawumia is only a liar. Bawumia is somebody who does not know when he is being used cheaply. They used him for propaganda. Right after that, they kicked him out and he has become a laughing stock. All of the MPPs laughing at him. Say, Sheno, or president be Eddie. Sheno, Tibia or the Namho. Who pe president Eddie? Alan cry Johnny Africa. Now, who the president is crying? Naire. Yes, in Naire. Ala Naire. Fiago! That's what they're saying. You think that they want you to be My brother, my sister, I hear Bawumia said he has fulfilled almost all the promises he made to Ghanaians. That is how the devil talks. You see what I did for you? I promise you that I'll give you this. You see, I've given you that. Hi! My God, have mercy. Today we sit back and we see electricity slapping our cringing brows. Hospitals are going off. And you tell us zip line is going around giving medicines to who? When lights are going off in hospitals and killing babies. What is the importance of zip line? When passport prices are astronomically going higher and higher, now kissing the souls of God in heaven. So high. Passports are increasing from 100 Ghana cedis to 500 Ghana cedis. Now any Ghanaian who needs a passport must make 500 Ghana cedis ready. I thought they said that the Ghana card was equivalent to a passport. Then why is it that we still need passports to the point that prices have even gone more than 500%? What a joke of a president and his vice and his arrogant supposed incoming running mate. To God be the glory.
Well, my name Black Rasta. Ghana shall prosper.